So here I got 5-minute candles, 5-day chart. So pretty much last week's action for GNUS, GNUS brands, right? So slow, gradual downtrend followed by a big bull flag, right? So we're gonna go over what caused this and some of my price targets and support levels I'm watching into next week for, and what made this move and why this has been such a speculative high momentum play lately. I mean, let's get a better look at it with the daily candles. Here's the 100-day. So I got a uptrend drawn out, and it's about 4:30 right now to reclaim that uptrend. It will keep getting higher with the longer it takes, obviously. So we're noting, look how high the RSI was, and here we are curling back up. But it's also worth noting, look at this. Just in April, this was 25 cents, and it spiked to $12 almost at one point. Here it is, wicks at about 11.70, and then slowly came back down here, right? And then bounced off the bound the 225 level. So I didn't really pay much attention to it on the initial spike, but I went over and looked deeply into this company today, and I want to go over what I found. So first of all, this right here is gonna explain the recent Thursday spike very well and save me a lot of SEC filings. So it says shares of GNUS brands were soaring today after the company said this morning that it would hold a conference call Monday to discuss an exciting business development, right? So they said pretty much this upcoming Monday they're going to come out with some big news, which caused a lot of speculation, right? Jumped it over about nearly 50%, right? So this company's ran from 25 cents in April to nearly $12 a share in early June, and it's set pull back to $3. Here we are at $3.60, right? So what caused this? So people are saying that it might have a partnership with a large entertainment company like Disney and Netflix, right? But it's also worth noting, check this out, they say, hey, this isn't good for investors because look, they have an operating loss of $6.5 million last year and only $5.9 million in revenue, right? So we're going to go over that in deeper depth in the SEC filings. We're going to start off with the 10Q that they filed in May 18th. So listen, this is worth noting this. So on May 15th, they have 49.5 million shares. We'll say around 50 million shares on May 15th, right? They have $2.7 million. They have a low licensing and royalty fees, right? But on this 10Q, they're reporting $5.8 million in loss in the quarter. I mean, that's horrible, right? They're losing more than double what they have in cash at the time, right? So let's look back on the year. This is May 15th. So at 50 million shares, this is currently about $1.60 that day. So it's currently valued around $80 million, right? So on May 15th, this company has a market cap of nearly around 80 million. We come out here and let's look at this 13G they have filed on June 5th, where you can see 7.4 million shares is 7.7%, right? So that means on June 5th they have 100 million shares, meaning in less than a month their outstanding share count doubled. So on June 5th they have 100 million shares. June 5th, where they closed the day at 590. So this company is valued at 590 million market cap. See this crazy increase in price and outstanding share count. That's unsustainable. But so I mean, that's some of the fundamentals. That's the problem with the investment here. This is company. Even if this company got bought out by a Netflix or something, I mean, at this current price right now at 364, say they haven't been diluted more since June, and we know they have, because when we look through the SEC and we look at this is May 7th, May 8th, 42B, 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 42B. I imagine some are probably the same ones, but you get the point. It's a heavy dilution. They're just living off dilution right now. But people are saying that they might have a big contract and whatnot. But think about this: 364 million. If we'll say at the $100 million, 100 million share outstanding, that puts this market cap at $364 million. What company is gonna buy this for $364 million, let alone for more than that, for you guys to be making money at these levels on the upside as an investor, when this company had $6 million in revenue last year? It's just not going to happen, most likely, you know. So it's kind of like you're praying. But so this is going to be, for me, this is just merely a momentum trade play, you know. I'm in and out. I like panics on plays like this because it seems to have really gathered like a perma bull Robin Hood cult following type of stock, you know. I think this cartoon aspect attracts stupid money to this play. They'll just keep loading into this dip, not realizing, hey, this was the 20-cent stock just a couple months ago. Similar to like a lot of these stocks that have ran that much, a lot of people made a lot of money and they're just still hyped on the stock, but also a lot of people are up here waiting to get out. And that's where we're going to go over the price targets. So I got my price targets on actually the 60-minute candle on the 20-day. So actually, let's go the first one. Let's go over the day. We got a clear uptrend and it topped out at 375. It's worth noting that VWAP was at a 333. So I was gonna say my first support level would be 350 off the psychological level, but here it is right here. I mean, there's a little bit of support on the chart here, so maybe that will hold. You can bounce, but my first one I'm really looking for will be that 320. I'll bounce off the 320, and then I'll be looking to sell. I'll be waiting for it to go over 350 where I'll put my stop loss. I'm not going to let it go under 350. If I get it around 320, I'm not going to let it go over 350 and then come back to 320 on me, right? But ideally, I'm going to be looking for the 375 first of all. Let's go that here. So 375 off that top from Thursday. After that, I'll be looking for the 4. After that, I'll be looking for 425. That's around right here. Then I'll be looking for the 450. Then I'll be looking for 480. Then $5. And then 530. And then that's about it. That's all the price targets I'm looking for right now. And these are all support resistance levels. So I mean, at every point it breaks, I'm going to be putting that stop loss and locking my profits. If it not letting it drop any I'm not gonna let any upside go on me, you know what I'm saying? So if I get in at 320 and it hits 350, I'll put that 350 on stop loss. Then I'll put it at 375, and then I'll put it at 4. And the reason I don't just do a trailing stop loss is these points of resistance become support, so it's worth knowing beforehand, because a lot of times we'll just channel between them, and then you'll know where to scout from, where to load, and where to look to get out, right? So for levels of load, like I said, I'm looking for that 320. That 320 right here. You can see some resistance here that now will be support. Then I'll be looking for the 3. Then I'll be looking for the 285. Then the 270. And in between that, I'm not going to let it ride down. I'll have a real tight, like a 2 to 3% stop loss. If I load at 3, I'm not going to let it go down to 285. I'm going to get out at 295 and look to load at 285, obviously. So my support levels are going to be 320, $3, and those are kind of more like scalping ones. I'm not going to hold overnight from that level. Definitely, I think it's more likely going to fade off to around the 225 to 245. I mean, like more like 225, 235 level again, and then bounce back up maybe to around 3, and then ultimately fade off long term. I think the speculation and the hopes are too high. People are going to be let down. This is going to be like a load that last week, and then sell into this hype on Thursday, and then everyone might get disappointed on Monday. But who knows? I could be wrong. Who knows what they're going to announce? So my price targets 375, 425, 450, 485, and 530. And that's also worth noting. Let's look at the whole year. See what I'm saying? This stock has just slowly been going down. I mean, this isn't a crazy jump. It then came all the way back down here. So there's going to be people that did not sell, that bought on this way up. They're still waiting. And on these bounces, they got caught and got greedy because they probably got a lot of money on this first jump, and they thought it was just for sure going to go up again. So this is a play where I'd take my profits every day they come. You could always load the next day. It's not just going to fly again just because it already did. And I'm not just jumping on the bandwagon. It's worth noting. I mean, here I am. I told you guys right here. Wow, it's $3.03. I said under $3 sends this to 270, 280 on the 23rd of June, and then on the 25th of June, here it is at 260. I told you guys a dump is coming under 250. Everyone was talking shit because people were so in love with this company. I told you again on the 25th, and then sure enough on the 25th, it's down to the 230s, right? And I'm not just a perma bear. I'm giving you guys real price action here. I'm telling you guys right here on the 30th, adding more at 219. A couple days later on the July 1st, I say this should bounce off the 225. And sure enough, here we are at 360, right? So I gave you guys a fair warning. But now on this type of price action, it's not going to sustain. I don't think. I think we're going to head back down to test that 320, that 3 level. And if those can't hold, I'm looking for that 280 bounce, 285 bounce, or the 270. And if obviously that can't hold, I'm looking for the 250. And then ultimately, I think maybe a bounce off the 235 and 225 later on this week. And that's about it.